Hey there, ladies. I am so excited to be doing this training this morning, and I apologize if it's dark. I don't know why it's dark, but I want to go ahead and get started because it's Saturday morning. We've got things to do. The new year starts pretty soon, and I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and dive in. So being part of the VIP tribe means that you have a Beachbody program and Shakeology. Okay, I only require that once, so that's good for everybody. And then, should you enjoy Shakeology, which I do, I love it. I've been drinking it every day for about 3 years now, almost 4, and I'm obsessed with it. I just have to have it. It's my shake. It's my go-to. So I am enjoying it this morning while we do this training. So, nutrition. Okay, this is a lot of the time our biggest downfall because it can be so complicated, or it can feel so complicated. And so it's really easy for us to get bogged down by it, to kind of give up on it pretty quickly. And so I am here. Sorry, I apologize for the cough. I'm trying to adjust the lighting here. I'm here to help you make it easier. All right. Nutrition is simple when you don't overcomplicate it. And it is not overcomplicated. It's easy to do. You just have to sit down and make a plan to do it. That's it. Once you make a plan, you got to follow it. It's not hard to follow it. Yes, I fall off the wagon regularly. But I'm also at the point where I know that cupcake is not going to make me feel good, so I won't eat it. Or I know that on Friday night, my family orders pizza, so I'm going to enjoy a piece of pizza or 2. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it because I've found a healthy balance when it comes to my nutrition. So that's the point that I want you to get to. Yes, these containers that we're going to talk about in a minute, they are amazing. They really help you get on track, and they really help you to visualize. So I apologize, slight interruption. That's what happens at my house. So these portion control containers, like I said, they're awesome. All right. But I don't expect you to be carrying them around for the rest of your life. And so I want you to get to a point where you can visualize, when you go out to a restaurant, okay, this is how much meat I should have. This is how much mashed potatoes I should have. This is how much greens I should have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. I am a visual learner, and that's why these containers are my BFFs. All right. They really helped me to visualize how much I was eating, and it helped me realize that I was, in fact, a carbaholic. I ate so much in carbs that it was insane. And so we'll get into that as we go through this. But really, the takeaway that I want you to get from this is that nutrition is not hard. It's not hard at all. You just have to be intentional. And when you're intentional about your nutrition, it helps to make everything else fall into place. You also, when you're being intentional, you have to give yourself grace. All right. There are going to be weeks, there are going to be days that you're just totally overwhelmed. If you're a mom, you've got kids, schedules change, things change. It's okay if you have a bad day of nutrition, because guess what? You can start over the next day. All right. I don't want you to just totally give up if you have one bad day. That's not what this is about. All right. So this is for the long term. This is something I want you guys to stick with for life. This is a lifestyle. And the more intentional you are at the beginning with it, the easier it will be to transition this into a long-term thing. So let's go ahead and dive into these containers. When you got your box in the mail with your Shakeology, you got access to Beachbody On Demand, which is phenomenal. In Beachbody On Demand, if you log, not Beachbody On, yes, in Beachbody On Demand, if you log into it on the website on your computer or your phone, you will get access to what's called Fixate. Fixate is Autumn Calabrese's cookbook that goes in line with all of these containers. All right, she portions it all out. They're all approved for the Portion Fix. There are tons of recipes in there. They add them regularly. That's a great place to start if you're looking for some new ideas. They also have videos, different videos of some of the recipes that they have made. Her Autumn Calabrese, her brother is actually a renowned chef, and so he will walk you through actually making some of these meals and some of these recipes. And it's fun. It's fun to watch the interaction, and it's really great because you get a better sense of what you're supposed to be doing. If you're not a very good cook, it's definitely a great place to start. And they do have it all portioned out. So they tell you, hey, this recipe has 2 purples or it has 2 greens, and here's the serving size and whatever. It's really awesome. And you get that through the Beachbody On Demand. So you'll get access to the Fixate. Also, through the regular Team Beachbody website, sorry, they do give you access to more recipes there. But really, the Fixate makes it super easy to follow. So I would personally stick with them. Okay, so let's talk first about Shakeology. Shakeology. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It comes in a variety of flavors, and it comes in regular formula and vegan formula. So the vegan formula just means that there's a pea protein as opposed to a whey protein. Besides that, the formulas are the same, really. And so if you're vegan or if you have a gluten allergy, pea protein is the way to go. But again, they taste very similar. So what do you do with your Shakeology? First off, with your Shakeology, if you've never tried it before, or hey, you've tried it before, you've hated a particular flavor, I totally get it. When I first started Shakeology, I tried the chocolate and I hated it. I mean, legit hated it. It took me 3 days to choke down that first chocolate Shakeology, and it was painful. And the only reason I did it is because I knew I was not getting that nutrition in any of my other food. But after having such a terrible, violent experience with the chocolate, I found Greenberry, which has been my go-to for years. And I found a recipe that I liked, that I enjoyed, that I knew I would be able to handle daily. And so that's what I do. I drink my Greenberry every day. And if it's not Greenberry, now I can have chocolate. I can stomach the chocolate now, but I don't mix it with dairy milk. That was my downfall. So what do you do with your Shakeology? Since I am currently nursing, my Shakeology is typically a snack. It is not a full meal for me. So I do have it before breakfast or after breakfast, and then I'll eat something else depending on how my day looks. But it is typically a morning thing for me. Some of my clients enjoy it in the afternoon because it's more of a pick-me-up for them, and that's totally fine too. It is your own personal preference. I do, however, not recommend that you do it in the evening at night, after like 7 or 8, because there is natural caffeine in it, and I don't want it to keep you up at night. So that's my only suggestion against doing it in the evening. But besides that, I do drink it when I'm not nursing. I do drink it as a meal. It is typically my breakfast because it gets me up, it gets me going, gets me through my day. Now, when I have a crazy schedule, I will drink Shakeology sometimes twice a day because we'll have afternoon activities with the kids. I'll be running them around, and I'll grab a shake to get me through all the afternoon chaos, as opposed to stopping at Dunkin' Donuts or grabbing a bag of chips or something. Okay, it really helps to keep me on track, and it's super simple, quick to make. Okay, so that's the Shakeology. Shakeology counts. 1 scoop of Shakeology counts as a red protein container. Okay, then whatever you add to it is extra. So for instance, for me, if I make the chocolate Shakeology now, it will be 1 red container, and usually I'll mix it with strawberries. And so that will be I don't use a full container of strawberries, but I'll use half a container of frozen strawberries. So it'll be half a purple and a red. All right. The other thing about these containers, which is super awesome. So with the portion control containers, we all have smartphones now. Okay. Most of us, 95% of us, I would say. So on your smartphone, there is this app called the 21-Day Fix. I don't know that you can see it here. Okay, 21-Day Fix. You can get that in Android or you can get it on the iPhone, and it will help you track your containers. If you go into it, and it will, you can put in your weight, you can restart your week, you click on a week, and it will show you according to your, there it is, maybe. Not working. So it will show, so on the app, sorry for all these interruptions, welcome to my house. So it will show you how many containers, can't really see it. There it is, okay? So it will show you how many of each container you have. And then you can log in, you know, hey, for breakfast, I had a protein and I had half of a fruit. And it will show you what you have remaining that day based off of your weight. And so you want to make sure that when you set it up, you are putting in your weight so that the categories are correct. So for instance, for me, because I'm nursing, I'll actually be up one category, but it will show me I have 4 green containers, 3 purple containers, 4 red containers, 3 yellow, 1 blue, 1 orange, etc. Okay. And then as you use those containers during the day, it will show you how many containers you have left. It is super helpful when you're getting things going. So back to these containers. All right. Because the nutrition is really the biggest key to this. We're going to touch on your workouts later, but there's other things I want you to get involved with first. So you got this portion fix in your program, in your box with your Shakeology. If you do not have the app, or even if you do have the app, I do recommend going through this booklet and deciding, well, first you have to figure out what calorie group you're part of. And so there's these questions that it will ask you when you first get into it. Take the time to sit down and do this. If you don't, you're not going to have any clue as to what you're supposed to be doing. It really helps to set aside time to sit down and do this. You can make it a game. You can have your kids join you. You can all figure it out together. But then you're going to want to, it asks you to pick out, you know, which program you want to do. There are a lot that are not listed in here because they've come out recently, but there are plenty of programs to choose. If you don't know which program you want to do, send me a message. Ask me. I will be more than happy to talk you through a program that's good for you. I have done almost all of them. If I haven't completed it, I have at least tried some of the workouts, so I know what you should expect when you're doing the workout. But you're going to want to get a calorie target because that will give you what your portion should be for each container, which is on this next page. The app does that for you as well. Once you put your weight in, you can do your before pictures in there and your after pictures in there. You can keep track of all your measurements, which I highly suggest you do. You need to do your measurements before, because even if the scale is not changing, your inches could be changing, because a pound of fat takes up way more space than a pound of muscle. Okay, it's both a pound, so don't give me the crap that muscle weighs more than fat, whatever it is, okay? If you have a pound of each, a pound of fat takes up substantially more space than a pound of muscle. And so you may not see the scale move in your first few weeks, but you may feel your pants getting looser, you know, your shirt's feeling baggy or whatever it may be. You're going to get some of those non-scale victories. And you'll probably get them pretty quickly if you're paying attention to nutrition. And so that's where your measurements come in. And that's where it's really important to keep track of your measurements. So in that 21-Day Fix app, you can put your measurements in there. You can also put them into the challenge tracker, which we are using for the first of the year to help get you regulated, to help motivate you, to help you stay accountable, so that I know, hey, you've logged your Shakeology today. Hey, you've logged your workout today. That's awesome. Let's congratulate you. Let's celebrate it. And so that My Challenge Tracker app, if you do not have access to it yet, please let me know so I can send you an email for it. You can also track, like I said, you can also track your weights and your measurements in there as well as the 21-Day Fix app. So let's dive into these containers, all right? So we had this big one, which is one that they've recently started sending to people. Clearly, I don't use it because it's not opened. But I also don't leave the house. So this would be a great place for you to prep a salad, okay? So if you're making a salad, let's say you're doing a container of lettuce, and then you want some cucumbers and some tomatoes or some carrots in there. So you're going to use this to measure those out, and then just toss the whole salad in this thing, okay? And then if you want salad dressing, which I love salad dressing, I make my own. And so that way I know that it's 21-Day Fix approved or Portion Control Fix approved. You can put your dressing in this little container, stick it in the big container, and then you're good to go. You've got your lunch, all right? Super easy. Now, the other thing, if you are somebody who needs to prep for your lunches for the week, this is where it comes in really handy, all right? You're measuring it out. Let's say you're measuring out your salads in here. Mason jar salads. If you've got a bunch of mason jars laying around, just measure it here and dump it into the mason jar. Same thing. Pop your salad dressing in here. Do not pour it into your salad right away. It will make your lettuce super soggy and gross. You won't want to eat your salad by the end of the week. But you can measure in these containers. You measure in these containers and then stick them in Ziploc baggies. All right, that's also something that I do if I know I've got a busy afternoon. I will pre-measure my snacks and I will stick them into baggies so that a bag of cucumbers is just as easy as for me to grab as is a bag of chips, all right? You have to make it easy so that you can stick with it. It doesn't need to be complicated. So we've got our salad container. You've made your salad, you've got your salad dressing, perfect, all right? You can also use this, you know, if you have leftover chicken and rice or whatever it is. This is a good full meal container. And they've started to include it because they realize that people are not going to carry around a plethora of these containers all the time, okay? And you don't need a bunch of the containers if you work outside the home. You can use Ziploc bags. You can use other Tupperware containers. These can just be your measuring cups, all right? It does not have to be complicated, okay? So if you go into the app or you go into your Portion Fix book, it will show you for each category plan how many containers you should have. It also gives you this fun little worksheet, okay? This is a great little place to start because you can go through, figure out what your meals could potentially look like, right? It doesn't take long to do. I know this video is a little bit longer. It doesn't take long to do this thing. So for instance, for meal one during the day, I know I'm not going to have any veggies for breakfast. I'm not going to. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to have one protein, all right? Usually it's going to be my Shakeology that I have. Then meal two, this could be a snack. I could have yogurt. I could have hard-boiled eggs. I could have a cup of fruit, all right? This is our fruit container. So I could have some strawberries, stick some strawberries in it, call it a day, okay? Meal three, this is typically my lunch, all right? I'm walking you through my typical day. So meal one is my protein because it's my Shakeology. Meal two, I'll usually have some fruit, strawberries, an apple, half of a banana, whatever it may be. I usually have a snack of fruit before I have lunch. For lunch, 90% of the time I'm going to have a salad. And I'm probably going to use at least two of these containers because I like to have lettuce and cucumbers and tomatoes and whatever else. Sometimes I will put fruit on my salad, and so I'll use part of the purple container. I don't generally put any kind of a carb on my salad, but sometimes I'll have 2 hard-boiled eggs, which counts as 1 red container. And so I have a pretty substantial lunch. I'll use several containers for my lunch. Most of them will be green though. Okay, then meal 4, all right? This again is usually a little snack for me. It can be some cut up green peppers, it can be some more cucumbers. I try to stick to a lot of the greens, especially in the afternoon. They're a great natural pick-me-up. The green containers will really help you just feel better, not so sluggish in the afternoon. But you can also go to a protein and you can have another shake in the afternoon. And that's totally fine too. Meal 5, this is typically my dinner. And so I try to go low on the carbs for dinner. So here's your carb container. Okay, I get 2 of these a day. So sometimes if I'm having a sandwich for lunch, it will be 1 slice of wheat bread. That will be my sandwich because I won't eat a whole sandwich anyways. So half a sandwich will be perfect for me, and then I'll have some greens with it, whatever it is. Okay, and then for dinner, usually we have potatoes or rice or something, and I just eat a little bit of it because I know I don't really need it. If you're a pasta person, you love your pasta, try zucchini noodles. Okay, zucchini noodles count as a green, all right, but they're awesome when it comes to your pastas, your chicken parmesan, whatever it is. Okay, I have chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles all the time, and it is not hard to substitute. You know, my kids don't really care for zucchini noodles, so I'll heat up some noodles for myself. I'll heat up regular pasta for them, but we're all still having chicken parmesan. Super easy, all right? You just have to take the time to be intentional about it. And these were not all things that I knew at the beginning, all right? So don't be overwhelmed by it all, okay? Then there's meal 6, all right? This is, you know, maybe something after dinner if you're still snacky on something. If I have any containers left, by meal 6. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's these little seeds and nut containers. I may have a handful of almonds, all right? Or I may have a handful of chocolate chips because I love chocolate chips. I have a sweet tooth. Or if I haven't had, if I've only had 1 Shakeology during the day, I may have a chocolate Shakeology in the evening, or a little bit of it, maybe half a scoop, to just curb that sweet tooth that usually kicks in after dinner. So you do not need to overthink it. It is super easy. So when it comes to what is approved for the containers, all right, the book has it in here. What I recommend you do when you first get started, go through the book, highlight all of the food you already eat. Easy. All right, I don't eat a lot of kale. I do not eat collard greens. I do eat spinach, broccoli, asparagus, tomatoes, squash, whatever it is, okay? I will highlight all the foods that I already eat. And I'll do that with every container, okay? Then this becomes my grocery list when I go through it, okay? So I know what my approved foods are. Okay, when it comes to your portions, all right, and you're going grocery shopping, this is where it's a little bit of a trial and error, okay, because you don't specifically know offhand how much lettuce you're going to get out of the lettuce that you purchase at the grocery store, okay? So your first week is going to be some trial and error. You are going to have to give yourself some grace when you're figuring it out, how much to have for each food. But when I first got this, I walked around the grocery store with this book. I did. I had it open in my cart, and I purchased only the foods that were approved on that list. When I went grocery shopping, I made sure I had eaten beforehand. Okay, that's one of the biggest downfalls when you go grocery shopping. If you go grocery shopping when you're hungry, you will notoriously go home with crap you don't need. It just happens. That's the way it works, okay? If you don't want to walk around with this book because you think you'll look silly with it, that's fine. Take your phone, use your app, okay? Your 21-Day Fix app also has all of the foods, the approved foods listed in there for you. So you don't have to walk around with the book if you don't want to. I just liked it because I was able to highlight the foods I knew I would eat, and that's where I would start. So once I knew what foods I would eat, okay, your first week is going to take a little bit more planning. But if you are serious about losing the weight, you're serious about getting your nutrition on track, you have to make the time to do it. All right, this is where my tough love comes in. If you don't make the time to do it, then you are not serious about it. I'm sorry, but you're just not. Okay, there are a lot of things that go on, but there is nothing that says you can't sit down and do this after your kids go to bed. You can't wake up early in the morning and do it. You can't stick your kids in front of a TV for a half hour while you figure it out. Okay, once you have your approved foods in here, maybe even before you go grocery shopping, go through the Fix 8 on the Beachbody On Demand. Figure out what recipes you can use. Believe it or not, though, most of us already incorporate a lot of this food into our daily life. Some of us more than others, okay? But a lot of this food you already eat at some level. Maybe you just need to step it up and eat more of it, but most of us already consume a lot of this, okay? Unless you're eating TV dinners every night, you're going to be consuming some of this food. So I hope that helped. And I apologize for the interruptions. Welcome to my life. But I will be posting this so anybody can watch the recording. And if you guys do have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. That's what I'm here for, okay? You're not being annoying. You're not bothering me. I am excited to help you, and I'm excited to help you get started in the new year. So if you guys have any specific questions about your portion control, your grocery shopping, your meal planning, please let me know. And I will be happy to help you, to walk you through it, to sit down. We can do a video chat, whatever it is, to get you on the right page. So I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.